The SF1 side brushes, the same as the SF50 or the SF35. The top motor mounted brush, 2 hubs, tapered cloth cut, has 360-degree rotational bearings for service, pivotal bearings in the back for service. It's got a shock absorber to create its tension against the vehicle. It also has a solenoid valve and water to clean and to wet the cloth, both from the sides and the top. Okay, important to make sure that they're unclogged. What we'll do first is we'll check the rotation. Side brushes are opposite of wraparound. Instead of spinning, like we said before, counterclockwise and clockwise, driver and passenger, they spin against the vehicle. So this brush here is going to be spinning, as you look down at it, counterclockwise, spinning against the side of the vehicle, and the driver's side brush will spin clockwise to rotate against the vehicle's travel. Okay, totally opposite what a wraparound does. It spins a different direction. When we spin the brush, we're also going to look at RPMs of the brush, same as we did the top brush and the wraparound, and we're also going to look at the contoured shape of the cloth. The cloth has 3 different cuts to it, and it's full density on both sides. It's got a straight piece in the middle. It's got an 8-inch piece in the bottom that's tapered, and then a 10-inch piece in the middle section that's also tapered out. Bob, if you can turn it on. Let me adjust the RPMs up a little bit so we can see the taper of the cloth. And you can see there on the cloth configuration how the bottom is tapered out. Long on the edge here to get underneath the rocker panel, straight up in the middle, and then tapered back in again to get the contoured shape of a vehicle, to follow the contour. The brush is also at an angle, pivoted so it gets up under the rocker panel and handles that contour. The RPMs that we're looking for on this brush is about 80 RPMs. Again, we need to tie a little something onto one of our fingers here, spin it, time it for 10 seconds, multiply times 6 to set our RPMs. These brushes look a little bit slow. We'll adjust them a little bit again using the Prince valve. We're running both the Omni, the rocker panel, and the top brush all off of one power pack. This one happens to be in the middle. So we're taking this speed control, we're going to bring it up just a little bit. Okay? To time out the brush, we're going to tie a little piece of plastic to one of the fingers of the brush so we can count it as it passes by. We're going to start up the unit again, and then we're going to time again for 10 seconds. Multiply times 6, and that'll give us our RPMs. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 was only 8.6 seconds. So then we will slow it down just to here by taking this and moving a little bit towards 1. And we'll clear the timer. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're going a little bit fast. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And 9:37. So now we're right about 95 RPMs, a little over 90, which is fine. Keeps the brush stiff. Okay, so it has enough pressure and resistance against the vehicle, which will allow the shock absorber and the spring to do its job. And that'll be the right RPM. We want the side brushes, the rocker brushes, always running about 85 to 90 RPMs. Grease fittings, again, rotational on a weekly basis. About 3 pumps, top and bottom. And then make sure to wipe them clean and no excessive grease. On the back bearings, grease them on a monthly basis because they're only pivot bearings. Again, 2 to 3 shots. Remove it and then degrease any excess grease. Okay, get the bottom one greased and wipe that one clean. The SF1 water we want to make sure is spraying completely, no clogged nozzles, coming straight down to the brush and then sideways into the brush. This one here will keep the tips wet. This one here will help to clean the brush and keep the water flowing from the inside out and help to clean it from the dirt side in. The torque channel on all the brushes, wraparounds, top brush, all the side brushes, all have a torque plate, which we call a torque channel, which allows the motor to have a little bit of movement in case, again, the brush shaft gets bent or that something gets out a little bit out of alignment. It takes the stress off the shaft of the hydraulic motor seal. The 1 3/8 collar that's on here that attaches and clamps the hydraulic motor into the brush shaft has a small set screw in it that is designed to go in and hold the woodruff key in the motor and in the shaft. It's important to visually inspect that and make sure that that collar is set in the right spot where the key is right over the woodruff key, the set screw is, to make sure that the brushes don't come loose and come apart. Okay, so it's important to visually inspect that on a monthly basis. Also make sure that the torque channel is intact and not cracked or broken on either side from excessive torque, stressing big vehicles that might slow down the brush or cause resistance to stress this out and break. And if it does break, it's done its job. It's designed to take and have some fatigue here without damaging the brush. This is replaceable. This is a weldment, hard to replace. So something to keep an eye on a monthly basis. The shock absorber is designed to keep tension against the vehicle. It's a coil over a tension shock absorber. So it's got resistance going out and back again. If the spring fails or gets tired or breaks, we'll lose tension and you'll end up seeing a brush that bounces while it's on the side of the car. That's an indication that the shock absorber is worn. If it is, replace it. As vehicles change, this arm of attachment is designed so that we can extend the brush further out towards the vehicles. For smaller cars in different parts of the world where there are smaller vehicles, also to open it up a little bit further and reattach it so that it will be expanded wide enough for the largest vehicles. If you're watching a lot of Hummers or just Hummers and you have a problem with keeping the brush against the vehicle. And again, it's important to make sure that the RPM is like we set it at, between 85 and 90 RPMs. If it's not, then the brush will collapse. Some of your side view mirrors have a tendency they'll be able to hit this motor mount assembly. As long as the brush is spinning at the right RPMs, it'll maintain and keep the distance away from that vehicle.